Russell, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What was that?
Even just the concept of hot food began to hurt my mouth a bit. I think I've got an ulcer.
I was gonna ask you, how are you with hot food?
Not good. Like, say I was having a curry, I'd have a korma, I'd have like a pasty, sort of fluid, soft
You
thing.
wouldn't go with the vindaloo.
No, I'd have like something sort of like, I like baby food, mush. I've only just come off the breast.
Well, it's important to note we're going vegan wings today for Russell Brand. We got them from the Temple of Satan.
All hail Satan and your dark underworld kingdom.
But the hot sauces are all still very much the same, for better or worse. Russell, you ready to get it going?
Yes, please.
All right, so this first one is sriracha. Sriracha's no big deal,
Right,
even
so-
for a baby food guy like you.
This is, I'll be able to register whether or not I'm gonna have a good time, because this is the bit that should be nothing.
Setting the bar.
Yes. Oh God. No, it's all right, it's all right.
So I want to start by talking about the tour, Rebirth, because the name would imply, a new beginning, an overhaul.
Yeah.
In what ways do you think, for lack of a better term, you've been born again?
When you have a baby, it transitions your worldview immediately. There's this new important person just moves into the house. Also, of course, there's profound, limitless love that awakens within you. It's the end of philandering, it's the end of madness, it's the end of so many things, but the beginning of so many things. It's the beginning of an other-centered life, I suppose is what it is. But like when I think of Dad, that's someone else. Our Father, who art in heaven, that's God or someone else.
Not anymore, now it's you.
I am him. So don't make a big deal out of that. For me, it's just manageable. This is within the realm of the pleasant.
That's good.
Vanilla sexual activity. At this point, no one's got anything PVC or leather out. No one's suggesting strapping you up.
I know that you have a deep fondness for your favorite football team, and that's West Ham United. Though I'm sure that the bare-faced greed and capitalism of professional sports.
Right,
might
mate,
leave a
I
bad
thought this
taste
was
in
going to
your
save
mouth.
that for death. Like that, you're getting into the paradox.
It's it always is with Russell.
I love West Ham United, but as sport continues to become commercialised, do I feel challenged that allegiance is being reappropriated into
Does it still have a pure place in your heart?
When I was a West Ham fan in 1980, the problem was that West Ham United was considered to be racist, violent, all those kind of things. Now, the sport has become commodified. The problem becomes, well, how does this relate to its indigenous roots as a sport of working class people and representative of the people of Britain?
Besides hooliganism, what's the best way to channel your hatred for another club, like say Chelsea FC?
The hooliganism should be taken off of the possible expression, Sean. It's through song, like stick, up your arse, stick your blue flag up your arse. From Stamford Bridge to Upton Park, stick your blue flag up your arse. That would be the way of expressing that, not through violence and hatred, but through jaunty, sweary, anal-centric songs. Have you done this with a woman? Mm-hmm. What happened? How was she?
We've had 4 women on the show. It's overwhelmingly male. Our viewers are overwhelmingly male. But the women that we've had have performed much better than the guys on average.
Because there's somewhere in their reservoir they have got, I will let a baby come out of my vagina.
Yeah, like a much higher pain tolerance. So I want to talk about Donald Trump for a second, because in addition to being a staple in your Truths series, you've actually had direct contact with him, as he's wont to do. He called you a major loser on Twitter one time.
Yeah, he did call me that. But like what happened was he was nice to me. He had me around his tower. And he was actually, do you know what? I feel a little embarrassed because he was very sweet, generally speaking. Then he took me to his office and he goes to me, pick any one thing you want from the office. And I thought, what's this Willy Wonka bullshit? He had like sort of, but he had good shit in there, man.
Yeah.
He had like Muhammad Ali's heavyweight belt. And I was really tempted to go, fucking have that heavyweight belt, mate, if you don't mind. And like sort of put that on and wear it and go around in Muhammad Ali's belt. But I didn't, I just took a pen so as I didn't seem needy.
And you have a very interesting way of unpacking, and I can't really tell, so maybe you can clue me in.
Yes.
Are you optimistic about the future, or do you feel like we've sort of put the foot on the gas pedal and now we're accelerating towards the end of days?
I feel the former, actually, Sean, that there's a reason to be optimism because a lot of undeclared things have become declared. For me, it seems like the end of a certain type of politics where a class of people said they would take care of another class of people, and those people felt, well, this isn't working. Either things get better or they don't, and if they don't, where is there now for people that believe in nationalism? Where is there now for people that find that kind of rhetoric a picture result? Are we entering the realm of the challenge now? Because this has got a wolf on it, and that's quite a potent symbol, the wolf. In totemism, a wolf, it's the dangerous thing, a lone wolf.
So your wolf comparison is actually a rather poetic segue into my next question, because I'm a little disappointed that you didn't bring Bear today.
Oh, that little bastard, I should have brought him. He's a good boy. Would you have minded?
I would have loved if you brought Bear.
He's a brilliant dog, but he is no respecter of convention or order. He's a real handful, so I would have loved to have bought him because he is fun, but he does not respect boundaries. He is just pure libido, life force.
Well, one of my favorite things that you share is when you serenade Bear.
Seem empty and bare.
Because I like to think that the dog understands me in a true and essential way. You know when you're looking at animals' eyes when you're feeling all lonely and that, and you think, this animal, it loves me no matter what. It doesn't care if I've failed or if I've let myself and the world down. This dog will love me. So I start to think, I'm gonna sing songs that express this idea to the dog. He likes the great crooners very much. He's a fan of Sinatra, Dean Martin. He's uniformly unjudgmental of all races and all types of music, and I think I will be doing some DMX tracks to him.
Oh, yes.
Coming soon. That's what I'll be... that kind of stuff I think could be quite effective. Where do people start freaking out?
Zombie apocalypse.
Oh, so until I get there, this is just a nice chat with a charming man who looks a bit like Justin Timberlake.
Wow, I love that. I will take that to the bank. Thank you so much.
And it's also on quite a meaty nugget, if I may say.
Same with mine.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not saying you've got an unfair advantage except for your years of experience in the genre.
So I want to talk to you about one of my favorite videos. It was when you were on the private jet with Diddy, and he described you, I think, as his best friend, Rusty Rocket.
Fortunately, that relationship has endured. Diddy and I've not seen Diddy for a wee while, but I must say, I continue to be most grateful for that sort of halcyon summer where a regular part of my life was Sean Puff Daddy Coombs. But we had sort of a cast dinner for the film that we were doing. I was a respectable hour late. He was nowhere to be seen. He come round where people were like having like sort of coffee and forgetting. Then Sean Puff Daddy Coombs burst in sort of a cloud of his own charisma. It was magnificent, and he instructed us that we were going to Vegas on a private jet and told me I had to organise tickets for Ricky Hatton's fight versus Manny Pacquiao, and I did have to organise tickets by ringing up Ricky Hatton, the boxer, who at that time was very nervous and preoccupied with his forthcoming boxing match with Manny Pacquiao. I said, can we get tickets? He didn't return the message. Something's happening to my consciousness. Is that the food?
That's the show.
It's transcendent.
Happening. It's all happening.
It's kicking in. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, I miss drugs. With the boxing ring, you have to be very near the boxing ring, otherwise it's not good enough. I got tickets for the 4th row. Puffy says that's not good. We got to get in the 3rd row. So in the end, I think Puffy had to sort out those tickets. Then Jay-Z was there, and there was a moment in my life where I was with Jay-Z and P. Diddy, and Manny Pacquiao had just knocked out Ricky Hatton, and Diddy was standing on his chair shouting, and the majority of the audience were all English, and I thought, my life has gone unusual. To the Queen. I like it.
You've never been shy about your criticisms of the media, be it the BBC or Fox News, which you called a fanatical terrorist propaganda group. What I want to do is pull up some of the biggest, most influential names in mass communication, and then you just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Does that sound good?
I won't give you the first thing that comes to my mind, because that's always something that nearly lands me in prison.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Now, Zuckerberg, what precedes this? Sort of like, like media barons of the 1920s. So it's unprecedented power, unprecedented responsibility. He's still a very young man. How old is he? 34 or something? Right. That's only, I still change my voice slightly to people that are 34. Are you all right, mate? But he could have me killed using binary.
All right, what about Rupert Murdoch?
I'm trying to see the divine in everyone these days. It's all right being tolerant and loving about people that you identify with and acknowledge, but the more someone looks like a ball bag, the harder it is to see that divinity, and that's why we have to try to reach within the scrotal and to the divine within him.
What about Megyn Kelly?
I must say I'm quite vulnerable to right-wing women that are conventionally attractive, because for me there's some sort of dovetailing of the presumed philosophical cruelty and the beauty. It sort of makes me go, God, you're so gorgeous, you're beautiful, oh God, I hate you. Would you look after me?
What about Howard Stern?
He's amazing, actually. He's another one. He's another one of these great media originators. He deconstructed radio while it was happening. I've learned over the years to have that don't say something mental voice, like manageable mental. That's where I live in the marketplace. Howard Stern, he fucks that out the window, because like he'll get you saying shit like you think, oh no. So, I mean, it's like he's like a sort of a brilliant seducer. You just come home with your knickers in your handbag saying, I didn't mean to fuck that guy. I feel like nervous, like it's affected me. I've fallen into the structure of the show.
I have to say this though, you look great, you're doing fine. Usually by this time, if there's somebody who comes in here, they're like, I'm not good with hot food, there's a little face sweat, they're like hiccuping a little bit. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. Now I eat it. Even you, as an experienced pro, that's quite difficult, hey?
It'll hit your throat a little bit, you know?
Throat, the actual throat. Yeah, that's challenging.
You were named Shagger of the Year 3 times in a row by The Sun. As we've just discussed, you're now a new father. What's your prouder accomplishment as a fornicator?
The gifts of fornication, my glorious child, or the accolades
from The Sun.
For shagging.
Shagger of the Year.
I must be honest with you, Sean, that they never verified the quality of any of that shagging, or even the quantities. They never asked any of the shag partners whether they were happy with the shags, whether they were legitimate shags, whether they'd actually happened. They simply saw that I was emerging from a lot of nocturnal dwellings with numerous other humans and assumed that it was because of shagging. And I, fool that I was, desperate for approval that I continue to be, allowed this misapprehension to continue. So I would say that it is the burgeoning new life and the witnessing of the emergence of consciousness and the possibility for redemption that every parent has that is the greater achievement. Not to undermine the shagging, because it was top-notch shagging that I done. Now we go to
The bomb, Beyond Insanity.
Beyond insanity.
It's
What is
beyond
beyond
insanity.
insanity? Possibly another form of sanity.
You never know
Or
unless
just
you go there.
Okay, mate. Do I get a souvenir from doing this program?
You get a plug at the end.
Thanks.
So,
Is it
that's the
affecting
hot
you,
sauce.
mate?
A little bit. You know, no one ever thinks about that,
I
Russell.
do.
It's not easy to interview when you're doing this thing with hot sauce all the time, you know?
I know, because I can at least be spontaneous, but you've got to adhere to a structure, you've got to carry this, you've got to provide morale, you're the focal point for an entire team of people. All I've got to do is just cope with the fact that my tongue feels like there's ants living on it now.
So I want to talk about your YouTube series, Truths, for a second, because it seems to be filling this place in the marketplace where the real mainstream news is kind of letting its audience down. And then it's kind of crazy too, because you have this global phenomenon with fake news. You have the highest office peddling alternative facts. At what point is the truth just so devalued that it's not even worth searching for anymore?
Never. Because what do we have other than our own essential experience of the world? But there are challenges with a concept such as the truth, because I suppose there's 14 people in this room, each of us having a different experience. The people here in the crew have their imperatives and objectives. For all we know, one of these people had their heart broken today. So even in a confined social system such as this room, there are numerous truths and numerous realities, and our job as human beings is to be sympathetic, empathetic, and bridge building with other people's truths, not damning, condemning, and maliciously and deliberately confused. So truth is more important than it has ever been. The profligacy and availability of information means that we have to be responsible with information and responsible with truth. now what's happening to me is these sources have become, like, they're affecting the level of consciousness that I'm at. I feel like it's the bit in the Matrix where Neo's picking bullets out of the air. Like that, and looking at them and realising it's just code. Is there a leaderboard? A leaderboard, a league table? Is there a graph that I can be on?
We have this super fan who tweets out his power rankings. He gets really into them.
What's his name?
His name's Brett Baker.
Brett, I'd like to reach out to you, presumably in America, given you're called Brett Baker. I'd like you to bear that statement in mind when judging me when I'm at the perfectly respectable level of 357 Mad Dog. You know, like, there's a point, isn't there, where, you know, like, he's already dead. You know, like, you're just punching a corpse now.
So I want to talk about your show, Ponderland, for a second, because...
Why? That was so long ago. No one knows what it is.
I'll tell you why, because you had a very interesting quote about your relationship with food. You said that you only want to eat food that is perfectly geometric dollops. Do you remember that line? Perfectly geometric dollops.
Who did your research? This is brilliant.
Me and Chris. Where's Chris? Chris, raise your hand.
Hello, mate. Well, yes, I did say I only want to eat perfectly geometric dollops.
Did you learn anything about cooking from hanging out with Jamie Oliver?
That I'm shit at it. I know a few proper chefs. Jamie, Tom Kerridge, he's a good UK chef, Gordon Ramsay. With them lot, it's like a kind of alchemy, although I did make my girlfriend sausage and mash just yesterday with onion gravy, and I cooked runner beans, and I put this like purple cabbage shit on the edge to make it look more good. Oh no, now I've gone out the other side. There was a moment where I was high. Do you remember that bit where I was talking about the nature of consciousness and love and all that?
Mm-hmm. Where are you at now?
Now I'm at make food good. Like that. Monosyllabic grunts.
All right, Russell. We have one more wing to go.
Then what happens? Why are you shaking it like that?
It is tradition around here to put a little extra dab of hot sauce on the last wing.
Tradition?
You don't have to if you don't want to, Russell.
Well, but if I don't, I look like I'm not good enough. Well, oddly, although I present myself as quite a gentle fellow, I'm obviously a very competitive person.
You've described yourself as a volatile person before.
I'm a volatile person. Does that matter? What's that? That's like a pipsqueak noggin.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, this isn't about like. This is not kamikaze. This is not oral jihad. This is not martyrdom of the mouth, where the only thing that matters is death. We are civilized people of the English-speaking Western world.
You ready?
No. Like, all my past is coming back.
Let's talk about it.
Bloody thing. I didn't enjoy it the first time. So I've got to eat the bit that's got the thing on, huh?
That would be the point.
Also, this is a particularly dog-eared nugget, if I may, or wing in your lexicon.
Are you enjoying the vegan
Actually,
wings?
yes.
They're pretty good, right?
In the early days, back there at the other end of the smorgasbord, when it wasn't about carving my mouth up with razors of flavour, it was glorious. Remember me, Jesus. What do you think Brett Butler's making of all this?
Brett Baker.
Brett Baker, yeah.
What do you think he's making of all this?
What
He's
do you
gonna
think?
fucking flip out.
Is he?
When he sees Russell Brand talking to him directly, he's like this. Oof. Brett is like a random TV producer in Lincoln, Nebraska, who just loves Hot Ones and just writes these power rankings up all the time. He's gonna lose his mind.
Brett Baker, da, da, da. He's a man in Lincoln, Nebraska. Brett, he's a lovely Brett Baker. Dun, 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 dun. He's a little list maker. Dun, 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 dun. He's a power rank faker. His name's Brett Baker. Brett Baker, value me. Brett Baker, can't you see? I'm drinking milk, I've been through all the hot sauces. My tongue's on fire, Brett, call me a liar, but we've been through Stracker hot chili sauce Tabasco, elucidating thing. We've been through the wolf,
We've tried the hot ones. We've even had ghost pepper blueberry. And can't you see, Brett Baker? We went through the apocalypse. They burnt my own tulips, and I continued on to bomb Brett Baker. It wasn't enough to blow up this British brand. Mad Dog 3.57. I stared down the barrel. I'm singing you this carol. Brett Baker, let's take it to the end. Oh, Brett, take a breath, 'cause we've taken down the motherfucking mega death, Brett. Brett, that was for you. I've transcended to a world of rhyme. Everything I say now will be poetic until I eventually just shut down my consciousness.
That is amazing. There's no point in asking a question because you can't go anywhere from there. Russell, you made it through. You cleared the board, biting hot sauce, brain on fire, sang us a song. This camera, that camera, or that camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
I'm pregnant. Now, I'm having a baby made out of vegan snacks and fire. He will be available in a show called Russell Brand Rebirth. It's me standing still talking. Tell you what, Sean, that's fucked me up. Hello, mate.
Hello, Russell. How's it going?
Yeah, very positive.
It is?
Well, generally positive.
What about going into this, though?
Oh, well, not so, because, like explaining to my girlfriend yesterday what this was, and she goes, you're not, like, good at eating spicy food, even in the just context of normal...
But this isn't a normal context, you know? Maybe you are
But
good
it's
in
an
this
extreme
context. But maybe you're good in that extreme context.
Say you said, I'm not that good at fighting, even if it was just a general fight in a park.
If it was for
Let's
your
go
life,
cage fighting.
But if it was for your life, you'd be a better fighter, I think.
All right, yeah. I suppose so. Raising the stakes can be seen as beneficial.
That's what I'm saying. So,
but also, as it can be seen as exposing weakness.
Right. That's kind of that's
the challenge.
That's the challenge. Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? If you liked the video, maybe meet us halfway. Throw us a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, don't subscribe. I don't want you. I don't want you in the tent. But if you liked the video, subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you. More than a friend.